Friends, this is part 2 of my talk on economy, and this mainly pertains to the Indian economy, the growth rate of Indian economy, and the related statistics. The position with regard to the figures as of April 2020, it's all realistic. The planning, the proposals, and the estimates for the financial year 2020-21, they were made much before the COVID-19 period. The actual position likely at the end of 2020-21 will have to be reviewed after the exit of the effect of COVID-19 or at the end of the financial year 2020-21, whichever is earlier. And our estimates for 2020-21 and beyond, based on the pre-COVID data and pre-COVID growth rate of economy, it is summarized here, that is ignoring the effect or the impact of COVID-19. See, India has emerged as the fastest growing major economy in the world and is expected to be one of the top 3 economic powers in the world in the next 10 to 15 years. And it is mainly because of our strong business partnerships with the economically strong nations, and our GDP at constant 2011-12 prices. It was 146 lakh crores for 2019-20 with 4.2% growth over the previous year. And India retained its position as the third largest startup base in the world with over 9,500 registered startups and 1,300 new registered startups incorporated in 2019. And India's labor force, it is expected to touch 170 million by 2020 end. The increased labor force participation and the higher education enrollment are also expected in the near future. The India's foreign exchange reserves, it reached 37.31 lakh crores up to May 2020. And with an improvement in the economic scenario, there have been investments across various sectors of the economy, and the merger and acquisition activity also is going on well. The merchandise export, it declined by 4.8%, and the merchandise import, it declined by 9.1% in 2019-20. And this is mainly because of the coronavirus related restrictions. And the merchandise means the tangible goods and not services. The tax revenue of the Government of India from all taxes put together, that is the corporation tax, GST, income tax, the central excise, customs duty. So it was rupees 15 lakh crores in 2019-20. And the estimates for 2020-21, the tax revenue, it is 16.36 lakh crores. In 2019, companies in India raised around $2.5 billion through 17 initial public offers. India's foreign direct investment equity, FDI. So the equity inflow, it reached $470 billion. US dollars. That is 27.31 lakh crores from the period April 2000 to March 2020, 20 years period. So with maximum contribution from the computer, software and hardware, telecommunications, construction, trading and the automobiles. And our consumer price index CPI less combined inflation, it was 5.9% in March 2020 as against 6.6% in February 2020. The annual consumer price inflation, It increased to 4.8% in 2019-20 from 3.4% in 2018-19. Around 12 million jobs were created in India during the period 2015-19. And India is expected to have around 1 lakh startups by 2025, which will create employment for 32.5 lakh people and generate US dollar 500 billion as per TBE Mohandas Pai Committee report. So this is all our expectations. The Union Budget for 2020-21, it was presented on February 1st, 2020 in the Parliament. The budget aimed at energizing the Indian economy through a combination of the short-term, medium-term and long-term measures. And the total expenditure budgeted for 2020-21, it is rupees 37.14 lakh crores. And in this, mainly 6.72 lakh crores, it is expected to be met from the resources of public sector enterprises. 7.96 lakh crore is expected to be met from the internal and the external debts, that is loans, and 2.10 lakh crores through disinvestment of government stake in public sector banks and financial institutions, and a small amount of around 15,000 crores as a recovery of loans and advances, and the tax receipts, all taxes together, it is 16.36 lakh crore. That is what is expected. And there is also non-tax revenue expected at 3.85 lakh crores, mainly from the dividend and profits. And numerous foreign companies are setting up their facilities in India on account of various government initiatives like Make in India and Digital India. Government of India, under its Make in India initiative, it is trying to boost the contribution made by the manufacturing sector to 25% of the GDP from the current 17%. Government has also come up with the Digital India initiative, which focuses mainly on number one, the creation of digital infrastructure, number two, delivering the services digitally, and number three, to increase the digital literacy. So various economic packages for rupees 20 lakh crores amounting to 10% of our, India's GDP have been announced. And Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Package, PMGK. So it was introduced in April 2020 to provide relief to the underprivileged against COVID-19 with a budget allocation of rupees 1.7 lakh crores. And India is expected to attract investment of around US dollar 100 billion in developing the oil and the gas infrastructure during the period 2019-2023. 2019 to 2023. So the government of India is going to increase the public health spending to 2.5% of the GDP by 2025. That is expenditure on the public health. And for implementation of the agriculture export policy, government adopted an outlay of 206 crores for 2019 with an objective of doubling the farmers' income by 2022. Under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban, government has sanctioned rupees 15,125 crores for the construction of around 3,31,000 houses. The Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, it has approved to increase the authorized capital of Food Corporation of India, FCI, from the existing 3,500 crores to 10,000 crores. Friends, around 26 million households, they were electrified by 31st March 2019 under the Pradhan Mantri Sahaj Bijli Har Ghar Yojana, that is Sobhagya scheme. And in the midterm review of our foreign trade policy, FTP, which is valid for the period 2015 to 19, the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, they enhanced the scope of merchandise exports and the service exports, and they increased the incentive for ready-made garments by 2%, and they also increased the validity of the duty credit scripts from the current 18 months to 24 months. In April 2020, the government extended this FTP, foreign trade policy, which is generally formulated for a period of 5 years and which is currently valid for the period 2015 to 19 by one more year. So it will be valid up to March 31st, 2021. So the same policy was extended. And India's GDP is expected to reach US dollar 5 trillion by 2025 and achieve upper middle income status on the back of digitization, globalization, favorable demographics, and the reforms. See, India is focusing to generate the renewable sources of energy. It's planning to achieve 40% of its energy from the non-fossil sources by 2030, which is currently 30%. And it's also planning to increase the renewable energy capacity to 175 gigawatts by 2022. So India is expected to be the third largest consumer economy as its consumption may triple to US dollar 4 trillion by 2025 owing to the shift in the consumer behavior and the expenditure pattern. Friends, all this is based on the position that existed or the economy and the economic growth rate that prevailed, that existed before the COVID-19. And let us see, I mean, what is the effect of this COVID-19 and to what an extent it adversely affects, we will have to see. I mean, we will have to take stock, we will have to review and see the position maybe after the COVID-19 or at the end of financial year 2020-21. And it's alarming to note one more small point that even small payments of DA installments that have fallen due recently on the salary, pension, and the family pension, they have also been deferred. So I don't know whether this is an indication of any greater impact of COVID-19 on our economy. So we will watch and see.